Faith, and this is the Siren's Den, your fandom podcast where we talk about all things pop culture under the sun.
Today we are going to talk about some news. News number one, that we have a news segment now. It's called News in a Bottle because we're sirens. We think it's clever. Let us know what you think in the comments down below or anywhere that you listen to this. Email us. We really need some user feedback on this, guys.
Let us know your opinions, even if they're not that good. We still want to know. We're also going to be testing out some sound effects.
Nope.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Maybe this one. No, we don't like that one. Definitely.
We love that.
Definitely
Yes, we love this one.
See, I don't like. No, we're not going to use those. So those are your options.
Real quick, what is your screensaver?
It is me as a Powerpuff Girl. We're talking about. Oh fuck! Hold up.
Good timing, Ty. Yes, it was.
Love it.
Is it better than? Yep, that's already better.
I couldn't. From the angle I was seeing, I was like, "Is that Nola? Is it Zim?"
You know what that would? You know what that would perfectly bring us into?
I love it.
You know what this segment would perfectly bring us into?
Yes, it would perfectly bring us into our first topic of news. The Powerpuff show at the CW is in a little bit of trouble. There's a little bit of trouble in Townsville.
Shocker.
As per usual, they are reshooting the CW pilot for many reasons. Probably one being the backlash that was definitely made known for the costumes in the show, from what we've seen. And also, apparently, there has been a script leakage. And I read it, and I wish I hadn't.
It was everything that I feared they were going to do to this.
It was so outrageous. I almost thought this had to be trolly. Like, this is fake.
Yeah.
I also thought so. I was like, it's one of those bots. It's one of those, like, I made a bot watch 1,000 hours of Powerpuff Girls and also 1,000 hours of a really crappy coming-of-age show, and then put those two together. See what we get.
Burned in my brain is Buttercup saying, "Come out, Blossom, or we'll leak your nudes," turning to bubbles. That worked on you once.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to think about that.
I don't want to think about Bubbles' nudes.
I really don't. I really dislike it. Like, there was a lot. You know, from the forced, like, social media lingo of like, oh, well, I checked on her Insta and I checked on her LinkedIn and her Facebook, and like that, no one really talks like that anymore. That was a fad when social media was big, and then it really went away because everyone was like, this is very obnoxious.
What really bugged me about it, and it's one of the things I really feared with this, because, you know, Powerpuff Girls was a celebration of being girly and all things girly without dumping on girly things, where that was just straight up like dumping on girly things, dumping on like just like the what you would do to like a veiny social media girl, like just like the worst of like women, and kind of portrayed that way. And it's just it really kind of is like, okay, yeah, no, they maybe don't understand what was the spirit of Powerpuff Girls.
Well, here's the thing now that we're going to get to it. They recognized it, and they're retooling it, which means it's probably going to be everything you guys want it to be now. They listened to the fans and went, but it can't be that.
So I just want to bring up this little excerpt from the script, because it is just, it's something. It really is. Blossom says, aren't we here to investigate? Buttercup says, I'm here to pick up bi-curious townies. You're here to avoid Drake. Bubbles is here to investigate, but she forgot Butch hates her. Luckily, we're dealing with another hate boner, so alcohol helps. Blossom, why do you know so much about hate boners? Buttercup, life is one big hate boner. This episode is one big hate boner. My feelings for this show are one big hate boner. I don't understand it. I really can't compute with this writing. And, you know, we're writers. And we don't write this stuff.
It's so self-aware about it. Like it's almost they got her rhythm right, how she talks. Like I'm here because of this. You're like that's how I would imagine her talking. But the things she's saying,
The
it's
words
almost
coming
so.
out of
That's
her
why I was like,
mouth.
this has to be a troll thing. Like it can't be real. This can't. But they haven't come out and said. That's not the script. Like
They just came out and reshot the episode. So
they're like, we
prob-
got to get ahead of this, and we got to redo everything.
Oh, so I mean, we don't we don't have much to go on. We just have speculation and what we've seen from the set photos. But hopefully, if they are reshooting it with these leaks that have come out, I hope they have improved it beyond that. I really hope they have changed. Like, I really feel like I think they might just go and get like another writing like team for this. As far as the costumes go, I mean, I just thought the costumes looked cheap.
Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe that's not their end costumes. Like, it seemed like it was what they were doing is like, this is what we used to do when we did wear these completely solid color outfits that are like really, really gimmicky. But I think I'm hoping that they get kind of like cooler upgraded costumes and they don't stay with the Party City
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls.
We'll have to see. I am kind of the fact that they are reshooting the pilot this early in the game kind of means that they were recognizing there are things here that aren't working. Hopefully. So hopefully just that terrible script, hopefully that was just, it never even existed and that was a fake leak. But more than that, if it did, hopefully this means that we're going to be getting something a lot more better and a lot more in spirit of what Powerpuff Girls was. Because honestly, like getting a good Powerpuff Girls sequel that is just in the spirit of the original show and just kind of brings that kind of messaging forward would be really cool. And I think it's possible. Like, as much as I'm a really big skeptic when it comes to these things, I think they can do it if they do it right. So hopefully this means that they are actually trying to do it right.
I hope so, because I mean, the CW does have good content when they do try. I didn't see them trying as hard. And, I think you're right. I think them going through all this effort of redoing it to kind of be better does point to them maybe caring about this franchise. I am, however, also just skeptical about Mojo Jojo's son, who is apparently exists in this, and his name is his name Jojo Jojo?
Jojo.
Jojo Jojo?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Yes, yeah. I think that's what it's turning into. Mojo Jojo, Jojo Mojo.
That's close.
Bo.
One thing, so I want to bring this part up. They are bringing back the same cast, which is one thing they did get right.
I will say I am.
Which between us, remember when we talked about it? I said I talked to the CW guy, and he was like, "We'll talk about." Like he was very not on board for like talking about this show, and then like now we see why he was not wanting to, because he saw this and went, "What the f is this?" And that's why he didn't want to like talk about it. He's like, he didn't want to go on the show and talk about it. He's very defensive about it.
Damn.
I was like, we'll talk about Legends of Tomorrow or something. He's like, we'd be better. Like, now it all makes sense. Like,
whack.
But I'd go. The casting was right.
Yeah. So. I think that's the one thing that I have been excited about. Is casting wise. I think Duff Cameron as Bubbles. It's gonna be adorable. I just hope it's not the Bubbles that was in those scripts.
Yeah, I hope so too. Did not like that Bubbles. I mean, yeah, the casting is good. I'm still a little weary of Chloe Bennett as Blossom, just because that was like really never a role I would have pictured her in ever. So but like
she's also really good at kind of doing those kind of like smart, snappy characters though. Like she was like Agents of Tomorrow. Yeah. She had that kind of, she had a similar attitude.
Agents of Tomorrow.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean, I would like that crossover. That would be very cool.
I got to use it.
Thank you. But yeah, no, she kind of had that kind of, I think she had that attitude in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Her character did. So I think that's kind of what sells me on her there a little bit more.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, I don't doubt she will bring a lot to the character. It's just having her, like, picturing her in my mind from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to red-haired, pink outfit Blossom. I was like, whoa, huge shift. Huge, quake, if I may say so.
Okay. I'll give you that one.
Well, again, we won't really know until we get more info. Like maybe they'll be a lot tighter with what gets leaked in the future. So we maybe won't get anything until we get a trailer. So I'm holding out hope that they won't butcher our good girls' names. You can't do that. They can't be taken down by the CW. Enough about that. Let's go on to our second, more exciting news topic.
Yeah. So, as people in the show might be aware, they might not be, but we are pretty huge Avatar: The Last Airbender fans.
I don't think they know that.
Yeah.
I don't think we've been clear about that.
Let it just be on the record that Nala and officially are just diehard, obsessed with Avatar: The Last Airbender. And one of the things that I've been really excited for is that they're going to release a art book series, just art from the show, and it's going to be a 6-volume series. They've announced what the first 3 are. One is art from Avatar: The Last Airbender. The next 2 are art from Legend of Korra. They're going to be re-releases of books that have already come out, but they're going to get just a little bit of new additional content. They're going to get nice new covers, and then they'll have if you get the premium ones, they have the nice hardcover book sleeves, and then together they make an image. Anything you want for your nerdy bookcase, right? But they just announced what the 4th one is going to be, and I'm super pumped about it. It's going to be Beasts of the Four Nation, an art book all about just the just awesome and beautiful fauna that was in that show. So I'm really excited to just get a look at that first. But also, as someone who DMs Avatar tabletop campaigns, I'm so excited to get a reference for some of the creatures in that universe.
Absolutely. Avatar is obviously just amazing, if we haven't already made that clear. But not only, they obviously took us to another world with this element of bending, but it was still a world that you were familiar with the ancient cultures that it was based off of. What really set it apart was definitely the animals, and they could have just had normal animals, but they had to make these fantastical hybrid animals that really elevated the show into something else.
Yeah.
And getting a whole book devoted to them and just getting to know more about these animals that they don't really explore that much in the show is so awesome.
They released a cover for it too, and it is so pretty. And I'm over the moon. And I'm also just really excited that cartoons are starting to release art books, right? That's one thing that I love when video games and anime do. I'll always get a good art book because it's just so nice to have those references for one thing, but just seeing the love and the concepts that went into things. What I'm hoping happens is that this will kind of be a wake up call to just other studios and other cartoons that, yes, we want art books of this. Alex Hirsch, the creator of Gravity Falls, actually really recently commented about this on Twitter, where he talked about how there was going to be a Gravity Falls art book, but they had all the resources together. They had all and it was going to be concept images and just all just really good art. And Disney decided to axed it without telling them why. They've been fighting for it, but they just haven't been able to get that to happen.
What a huge slap in the face for artists. Because, I mean, obviously the art that you make that gets on the show is great, and that's one thing, but there is still so much behind the scenes art, so to speak, that goes into... and I mean, it was, I think, going back to The Mandalorian, they don't have a title, a beginning title sequence, but I have always loved watching the end credit concept designs and concept art, because art's amazing, and it's just they really know how to immerse you in a world, and that plus the element of more in-depth knowledge is like, no, art books are a wonderful investment, and that is such a shame.
Yeah, and it's especially because most of the time it's content that's already happened and already there. Just because there's so many artists who are working on these shows and designing these things, and I just, especially with like cartoons like Gravity Falls, where it's such a deep and thoughtful universe and thoughtful world that it's just really nice to be able to see kind of the other concepts and even like maybe stuff that didn't make it into the final show. I'm really glad Avatar has been on that like consistently with releasing art books and understanding that, and I'm hoping like we could get a Gravity Falls one or an Owl House art book or Amphibia art book, or just that more of these really thoughtful cartoons with these beautiful, just vast worlds can release this type of content. Because I would get it in a heartbeat. So many people would get those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to get all just like the Air Bison art because they are just the best, and there's not a such thing as too much Air Bison.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to get those, like some of the weirder stuff that we got, like the cat gators from the swamp. Like, oh, I want the swamp fauna, right?
Yes,
like just like a
absolutely.
section on that.
Mm-hmm.
There was those lizard horse things that Azula and May and Ty Lee.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yep.
The ones that like they stood up and ran across the water.
Yep. Those giant, like what, Komodo dragon type almost. Yeah, those lizards. I have always wanted to, the animals I've wanted to know more about are the ostrich horse that Zuko rides on. So cool. Lion turtles, obviously. Like we did get more in Legend of Korra, but like if this is going to be expanding on animals in Legend of Korra as well, just getting more lion turtle history.
Yeah.
And seeing that. I mean, there really isn't an animal that I don't want to know more about in the Avatar universe. The saber moose? The
Fufu cuddly poops.
Yeah,
little.
Yeah. Love them.
What was the one animal that wasn't crossed? Right? Wasn't there one that was just like normal?
There were a couple.
Bears.
Well, yeah, there's a regular bear. There is also regular dragons and regular fish.
Dragons are regular, just all around normal.
Yeah.
Normal. Those are normal dragons.
Yeah, there's koi fish. But those are also spirits, to be fair.
Right. Even the bear?
The bear is probably not a spirit.
Wasn't there?
Is it?
Maybe it is.
Wasn't there
It's a pretty smart bear.
Yeah, but I mean, that it actually would be really funny if it was a spirit, considering the Earth Queen ate him.
That's great. I love that.
That's a true fact. I don't know if you guys know this. It is canon that there's that line of, the Earth Queen's like, I heard she ate her uncle's bear. The creators were like, yeah, she ate the bear.
Canon. I mean, that's one thing I'd like to know about the bear, the just regular bear, and how that came to be. Because we're very familiar with the platypus bears, but not so much with regular bear. And I'd like to know more about how that came to be.
But right.
There is so much. There's so much to see. Obviously, getting the other art books from the other series is great too. But I'm very excited to see these beasts. And so moving on to more fantastical, ethereal topics. We were told we'd get an Eternals trailer or like a teaser trailer, which only ended up being very few shots and not much. I guess as a teaser, not much about the plot. But now we have gotten a full-fledged trailer, and it looks really awesome.
Yeah, no, because we talked about earlier how we were really curious how, because now that we saw Chloe Zhao's kind of style with Nomadland, how that was going to translate itself to the Marvel Universe. And now, like, getting to see that, it's, I think, one of the best visuals that, like, just even from the trailer that we've seen in Marvel recently. I mean, Marvel, admittedly, I think in this new stage of things has been really investing in getting really good cinematography and really good visuals. That's one great thing about this this phase of Marvel. But I think Chloe Zhao really understands how to just pack a frame and how to pack like a wide shot. So I'm really excited to see that. And also it was just kind of cool to get a little bit of a glimpse of what this movie is going to be about, right? One of the questions kind of coming up of like, oh, well, if they're guardians of just like the planet, where the heck have they been? Like Captain Marvel has at least the excuse of, yeah, other people need me in space. But
yeah, definitely. I was wondering that question. I was like, okay, well, where were they to fight Thanos? What's up with that? But it seems like the reasoning behind their lack of helping is the fact that they were mind wiped and they were living amongst the humans as just regular humans, so to speak. They started off by being these powerful beings who came on like the dawn of civilization to help mankind evolve without really interfering with their lives. So they are essentially the representations of a lot of the gods that we see across humanity.
yeah.
Which I thought is awesome. And now they have decided to live amongst the humans, and with that, they got their powers erased. But being blipped back, I think the when like Thanos was destroyed, their memories came back as well. And so that's, I think, the events of the Eternals are going to be taking place obviously post blip, but I think it'll also give us, it's going to be a lot of time traveling, a lot of time jumps. So they're going to be talking about how they're going to be giving us those answers. And I mean, I'm excited to see them and live their normal lives and then eventually reconnect, because it seems like they started off as a team, then they all went their separate ways, and now it's about them coming back as a team.
Yeah. There's also, we got to see them all in their final costumes in that last shot. So that's really cool, getting to see them all visually together. And it looks so good.
It really does. I mean, going back to Chloe Zhao and her filmmaking, I knew immediately from that first shot of the trailer. I was like, oh, this is Nomadland 2. This is very Chloe style of really creating an atmosphere with the background characters. I think we're going to be getting a lot of other characters, however minor they're going to be, with each of these time periods to elevate the story even more. But also just the shots are gorgeous, the colors are gorgeous. It's going to be awesome, and I'm very excited to see her take on it. Some of the stuff I liked about this trailer is seeing their lives as humans, because they all went and basically found professions that very much match how they used to be as Eternals. Kumail Nanjiani's character is like a Bollywood star, and it seems like he has a film crew following him around in this movie, so that's going to be fun. I mean, he's a comedian, so I think he's very much going to be the comedic relief type character in this movie. I mean, there's a lot of funny people in this movie, so I'm definitely excited for the group dynamic. One thing that was surprising to me is the relationship between Cersei and Icarus, because I didn't know that they were in a relationship. I thought they were, just all team members, and then maybe one broke away from the pack. That was kind of our original theory, that they're going to be fighting each other because Cersei likes the humans and they don't. But no, they were in a, centuries-long relationship, Cersei and Icarus. And then something happened, because she eventually goes with Jon Snow's character, the Black Knight.
I got theories. So first off, I love the last thing that Jon and him said, I'll see you all in black, right? He's going to see him as the Black Knight next, because he died while they were separated, right? Jon was at the wall.
Right.
So the next time he will see him, he'll be all in black. But I have a theory, and that's because, so the Black Knight in comics, he's a reincarnation every time, and that's how he's able to lift the sword.
I see.
So what if he reincarnates as a human, right? And now so it is her lover, but it's now Jon Snow. Yeah, it is Icarus dies in the past, because some of this takes place.
But then there's that ending scene where, they're like, well, so now that Steve Rogers and Iron Man are gone, who's going to lead the Avengers? And he's like, I can lead them.
That's true.
And then they're like, LOL. They're like, I mean, it's still a cool theory. Maybe he could be Jon
I just thought
Snow
that'd be like how you would do it. Yeah, I thought that would be how you do it, is the reincarnation thing, but no. No,
No,
in the trailer alone, it killed it.
Theory shot dead. Maybe he's Mephisto.
Mephisto confirmed. There's a hexagon on something.
I really liked getting to see the glimpses of their powers and how those are going to kind of manifest. There was that awesome shot with her in the water.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie's character. Athena.
Yeah. I really like her design. So I'm pretty excited about that.
And her sword, she has this cool, like, almost transparent but like mystical rune-y sword.
I'm a sucker for a female knight, so
I love female warriors.
A lot of her aesthetic has just hit a lot of good notes for me. I'm also just excited because it seems like it's going to be a really thoughtful movie. And because usually I think Marvel is pretty good about getting the tone of the movie that they're going to be telling in their trailers. Like Thor Ragnarok's a really good shining example. The Ant-Man trailers, the Guardians of the Galaxy trailers, even like the Infinity War and Endgame trailers. I think they were really good about not showing off too much information that could like be spoilery, but still getting the tone of the movie. And the way this one was presented was very thoughtfully, like just very, it wasn't presented as an action film. Like
definitely, I think it's going to be a lot more subdued. Like it's obviously still going to be CGI heavy and visual effects heavy, but it's going to be more character driven.
Yeah, which Marvel's always already really good about doing character driven stuff, but I'm really excited for a movie that is really, really going to lean into that and is not going to be afraid to not hit these action notes that all these Marvel films have to hit because it's an action movie. So I'm really excited for something a little bit more character driven, a little bit more just, again, more thoughtful, more kind of contemplative than we gotta save the universe. Again, I love Marvel movies. That's not like those are bad, but because one of the things I've really liked about this new phase is that they have been kind of experimenting with like their styles and their tones. Like I think we can all agree that WandaVision was such a breath of fresh air just because it was so different than anything that we'd ever gotten Marvel-wise before.
Oh yeah.
So Feige said that he really wanted, the reason why this one got pushed through a little bit more was because he wanted more ensembles that weren't crossovers, right? So like Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff. Interesting.
Right. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I'm excited to see, another team movie from Marvel. They know how to do team up movies. So that and I'm excited to see how they continue on to the next part of the phase. But yeah, I'm absolutely excited to see all the, they're called the Eternals. They've been here eternally. So we're going to see a lot of time periods, which I'm excited for. And just like a lot of, we're probably just going to take another trip back through the MCU. And like, we might be looking at major moments that happened in the MCU and where they were.
Yeah, like I almost because I've been wondering how they're going to do this, and I'm almost wondering if it's just going to be like this just tale through time of just like this decade and then this decade and this decade and this decade and then finally we're in modern times and just it's just going to be a chronicle of the Eternals, which I'd be really down for.
Heck yeah. And their reaction to what's been happening with the Infinity Stones, I think I'd also like to see.
Who are they fighting again? Probably it's what Thanos' species is. It's like an offshoot.
A Titan?
Yes, he is Titan, but they're like an offshoot, and that's why we're gonna see young Thanos, right?
We're gonna see young Thanos.
We're gonna see young
baby Thanos.
Teenage Thanos.
Teenage Thanos. But yeah, I feel
20 something. I'm sure.
Oh my god, I feel like he's a little worse than.
Oh no! I think years of wear and tear can do it to a guy.
Maybe a little better. Are we gonna see optimistic, happy Thanos? Is he still gonna be played by Josh Brolin?
Like, you could. They have the de-aging stuff, and if they just had to take Josh Brolin playing Thanos and then de-age the CGI, right?
True. Sure it's a lot easier when your whole face is CGI.
Yeah, let's go. He's younger. It's something. It's like the Eternals. I can't remember. I watched it on a different show.
But we will see this November when The Eternals comes out. That brings us to the end of our news in a bottle, as we might start calling it.
Woo woo.
Whoop whoop.
Not sold.
Not sold.
Not sold.
Our
on message
producer
in a
is not
bottle.
sold on that name. So if you have any suggestions for what we should call our news segments, give us a comment. Let your opinions be known.
And as always, if you have a topic you think we should look at or a news story that you think we should put in a bottle, comment on our Facebook page or send us a email at sirensdenpodcast@gmail.com. Also, we are on Twitter at The Sirens Den, so check us out there. Be sure to catch future and previous episodes on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, or wherever it is you listen to your podcasts.
Thank you to Ty, our producer, and to Sean Thomas at fuzzstudio.com for our theme song.
We'll catch you next time.
Until then, stay safe, everyone.
Bye.